One of the last things I would mention to you about the mini lesson is that you relax, you're going to do well, and you have to make sure that you keep in mind the time, of course. You got to keep that time within your mind, and also if you need to take a look at the clock or use a timer, certainly do so. I look at the clock repeatedly, numerous times a day, even within one class period, back at my middle school as well as even in our 487 class. Time can be your ally and not your antagonist if you use it rightly, and you're also aware of that. I would also say you are the pace setter. Do not count on your students at the, in Dr. Orden's class or in ours to pace when you are the pace setter. So you have to communicate very clearly and explicitly and very nicely. And you have to say, okay, everyone, we have 30 seconds for this. I want you to do X, Y, and Z. You have 30 seconds. Go, start now, and then be actively monitoring and progress, the progress students are making. So you can't just give a direction, expect them to do the activity, whatever that is, and stand up at the podium or stand up at the front and check off your little checklist. You have to actually, as a great teacher, not just a good one, walk around, circulate, see what students are actually doing, but don't just even look around, but actually be sure to take in as much data as quickly as you can from different neighborhoods within the classroom to say to yourself, boy, they're getting what I'm asking them to do, or they're not. They're on track, or they're not. They're ahead of time, or they're not. And that way you can make adjustments as you need to as a good teacher. But again, you are the pace setter. Do not count on students to set the pace. You have to control that, and you have to communicate that very clearly, what you expect them to do, and how much time they have to do that, especially within your 10-minute mini lesson. I would also suggest, again, I guess the last thing I would suggest is simply to make sure that you arrive beforehand well enough and you have everything set up so that there's no technical issues, you don't have computer problems, and all of this business. You arrive ahead of class just like you would for your full-time teaching position. I would also recommend that you dress professionally, so you are not peers, you are actually the professional in this setting. So it speaks of you, it speaks well of you when you come in whether it's a suit and tie, whether it's business casual, whether it's heels, or whatever is going to show and indicate that you take your job seriously, you value and you respect what you're bringing to these students. And let's face it, we're not phys ed teachers, and we don't pretend to be. So we operate under a different set of expectations, and I think we ought to hold ourselves to an appropriate standard of dress and conduct within the classroom that is becoming a teacher of writing such as yourself. And the last thing I would say again is just on moving. So again, get the kids to move, get the learners to move, get them to do maybe a think, pair, share, targeted time, communicate the expectation, but don't be idle. Don't get lead in your feet and stand there like you're a middle schooler at a dance or something, and you're just at the beverage station. You gotta move. You gotta keep moving, and you gotta just move with a purpose. And that purpose should be, I want to learn as much as I can about how the students are engaging with my direction or with the topic or with this activity as I can. It shouldn't be this aimless wandering around like you're looking for your lost watch or something like that. Okay, so all of this, you're gonna be great. Take a deep breath before you go. Relax, prepare as well as you can. Don't try to bite off more than you can chew. Pick a very targeted, specific skill or topic and teach the heck out of it, and do it through getting them to do more and you to do less, in a sense. So if you have any questions, be sure to email me. You know how to reach me, or find me on Twitter. Otherwise, I'll be in touch, and we'll see one another on March 25th. Good luck, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your spring break. Thanks a lot.